Morning you guys, it's Karen and I'm here to talk about retinoids, retinols and the dry peeling skin, irritated red skin that they cause. Talk about why that happens, is it normal for it to happen, and what you can do to prevent it or reduce it happening, and also products that you can put on if your skin is already at that stage of having dry skin and peeling and redness. If you've watched any of my recent videos, you might be thinking, how can I possibly be coming to talk to you about how to prevent irritation when my neck was a mess? If you watched in the last couple of videos, I had redness all around here. That was not yesterday, the day before is when I filmed those videos, and it was a bit of a mess. The answer to that is, that's the very reason I can talk to you about it, because I have gone overboard with my skin. I then started very low on a 0.2% retinol, and it still caused an irritation on myself. And so I have been looking into and researching exactly why it happens, what happens, and what I can do about it. And so I immediately went and bought some products on 2 days ago and have been using them. And as you can see, my neck is all cleared up. The irritation is gone. All I am left with is I've got a little, well, actually it doesn't even feel it now, maybe because of the stuff I've put on this morning. I was going to say I did have a dry patch around here, but I've obviously managed to resolve that. So hopefully by sharing with you what I've learned and what has worked for me, I can prevent you going through this, or if you do already have irritation, you'll have some tools and products that you can use to make things better. So why do you get dry irritated skin with retinoids and retinols? I'll just talk about them as retinoids actually going forward. The reason is that the retinoid product gets trapped in the outermost layer of your skin, which is the stratum corneum. It gets trapped in there, it increases the cell turnover, and it's thought to cause irritation in there because it's increasing the speed that your skin is turning over cells and pushing them up. The irritation that goes on in that outer layer of skin is thought to be mostly a side effect. Now, this is a process that they're still doing research on. It's one of those things that a lot of research has been done, so we know that tretinoin works as an anti-ager. Retinoids do work to anti-age the skin, but there's still a lot that isn't known, and the process of the irritation is still being researched. A lot of different opinions out there. Some people believe that it is totally normal to get dry, peeling, irritated skin. Other dermatologists, when I say people, I'm talking about dermatologists or researchers, some will say that no, you absolutely shouldn't have any, and that means you're going too fast. From what I have read and taken a balanced view, I would say it's a bit of both. There have been some studies done where they have used a really high strength tretinoin, so 0.25%, to speed up that process of irritation and dry skin. And what they found is if you use that high strength, the irritation lasts a couple of weeks, is much worse obviously than if you use a lower strength, but that you more quickly acclimatise your skin to the irritation, and that after that 2 weeks you then go on to reap the benefits. So most people are aware that the way to avoid your skin reacting badly and being very dry and peeling and flaky, etc., is to start off on the lowest possible strength of whatever retinoid you are using and then build up. And that's certainly one way of doing it. And I would say that if your skin is dry and peeling, then if you move to a lower level or go slower, so if you're using, say, a 0.25% twice a week and your skin is peeling, if you move to once a week, then that will definitely help with the dry skin and the peeling. And that's kind of your skin telling you you're moving too fast with this. But it's only you're moving too fast if you are trying to avoid any dryness or peeling. I don't know whether I'm making sense here, but basically what I'm saying is that most people will get dryness, peeling, and some irritation. And if you 100% want to avoid dry skin, flaking, etc., then you need to start at an extremely low level of retinoid and work your way up and very slowly use it. So once a week, and make sure that after 2 weeks your skin is not dry or peeling, then increase it to using it twice a week. If your skin is not dry and peeling, either go up one step or increase how much you use it, etc., etc. However, if you don't care about the dry skin and peeling and you actually want faster results, then you can use a higher level and just put up with the dryness and peeling, and it will be over quicker. That's what the research currently says anyway. It was a very small study, but it was double blind, so I do think it's a good study, but obviously more studies need to be done because not everybody will react the same way. But the basic thinking is that if you use a high strength for a couple of weeks and just don't need to worry about putting makeup on and having very peely, dry, irritated skin, then you can get over the irritation period very quickly, and also you'll get benefits a lot quicker because obviously you're using a higher strength, and that should start from this kind of 2 weeks onwards. However, if you don't want the dryness peeling, you will need to start off low and work your way up. That will mean less dryness, less peeling, but it will take your skin a longer time to acclimatise to the tretinoin, and therefore a longer time to get the full benefit. I didn't know about this 2 week thing, and you know, I did think, well, you could kind of treat it as almost as if you're having surgery or something, you know, and completely dedicate 2 weeks. Use the highest strength that you can buy, which probably for us is 0.1%. The way you decide to go, whether that's high strength and quickly or low strength and slowly, what can you do to help the process not be quite so severe? There is definitely something you can do, and again, it was a research study that I found that was really interesting, and it did a double-blind study, that if you use a combination of niacin, panthenol and vitamin E, so 3 vitamins. If you use a combination of those 3 vitamins on your skin for 2 weeks prior to starting retinoid treatment, then the irritation process will be greatly reduced. And that's because it strengthens the barrier, it strengthens the stratum corneum, which is that outermost layer of your skin, and that means less irritation. It's all working a bit more efficiently, I guess. However, they also say that this could slow down how quickly you get benefits, because do you remember I was saying that if you do it quickly in 2 weeks, you're going to get the benefits after the 2 weeks, after your skin is acclimatized. You then start to get the benefits of the retinoids. So if you strengthen your stratum corneum and there's less irritation and there's less potential skin turnover, you are possibly slowing down how quickly you will get the benefits. I know there's a lot of maybes and could be's, but that's because nobody really knows exactly why the irritation occurs and if the irritation is necessary for the benefits to happen. This is just the general thinking, is that the more irritation you have, the quicker you'll get over it, and therefore the quicker you'll reap the benefits. What I should tell you before we talk about which products I use is that when my skin was red and irritated on my neck, I continued using Retinol. And I know that may seem crazy to some, it may seem counterintuitive, but the thinking is that you should continue with your treatment. And actually the reason a lot of the research is being done on retinoids and irritation, or retinoid dermatitis as it's called, retinization as it's also called, is because a lot of people just stop because of the irritation. But if you suddenly stop and wait for your skin to heal before you start using it again, you are just going to create a loop and you're going to keep on getting that irritation. If you continue on, you will get past the point of irritation. That doesn't mean to say that you can't slow down. Again, it depends on what you want and how much irritation and dry skin you're prepared to put up with. But if, say, you're using 0.1% twice a week, let's say, and suddenly your skin is an absolute mess, don't suddenly stop using your 0.1% and just use nothing. That would be the worst thing you could do. But what you could do is instead use 0.5% twice a week. Or you could reduce it and use 0.1% once a week. As long as you're still feeding that retinoid into your skin, you will go past the point of irritation, but it would slow down the irritation process by reducing the frequency or strength of this product you're using. And you could also continue on using the 0.1% twice a week, and the irritation will reach a peak and then you'll start to heal and you will be acclimatized to the retinoid that you're using. For me personally, I did not expect my neck to react like that because I used a 0.2%, as I told you, retinol in oil and squalane from The Ordinary. So I was really surprised to see how my neck reacted. But what I've been super pleased with is that, like I said, I bought some products 2 days ago, put them on my neck on that day, also put them on yesterday. I didn't wear any makeup yesterday, and I put some products on my neck and face a couple of times yesterday. And today you cannot see any damage on my neck at all. I mean, some might show up when I look back, when I watch this back, because, you know, of the bright lights, etc. Sometimes it highlights your flaws a bit more. And the items that I used are vitamin E, panthenol and niacin. And if I'd have used those for 2 weeks before starting retinoids, then the thinking is my skin would have done even better and been even less irritated. But I've used them more as a healing solution. But if you can start to use these, no matter what stage you are in using your retinoids, it's proven that using these before and during and after, if you get irritation, is beneficial to your skin. So the first thing I did was see if I could find any serums or creams or anything like that that had all three in: the vitamin B3, which is niacin, panthenol, and vitamin E. Vitamin E, niacin and panthenol, yes. And I couldn't find a serum that had all three. I was searching online, really. I thought I'd look for individual products. And with the vitamin E, the first thing I thought of was Superdrug, and the second thing I thought of was the Body Shop. Superdrug do a vitamin E oil that I actually did use for a while, but it's not, I can't find the ingredients, but I seem to remember it not being as high in vitamin E oil as I would hope. I think it's probably one of those that it maybe says on the label with vitamin E, I'm not sure, and they may have reformulated. I need to actually go into Superdrug and have a look at that, and I will do next time I'm there. But I couldn't find the ingredients to it online. With the Body Shop, I did already know that it's not a concentrated vitamin E product, any of the products that are vitamin E. They're all lovely, and I think it's the vitamin E day cream that I use. They're all really, really lovely, but they're not a concentrated vitamin E. I decided to do a bit of home mixing and go back to what I used to do when I had really bad acne. When I had a particularly nasty lump that had erupted and was healing, it would go very, very dry. You'll know if you have acne. And what I used to do was get vitamin E capsules, and I would take one of the capsules, and actually these have got very, very hard shells, but I would pierce the end of it, squeeze out the vitamin E and put it on that for it to heal. I knew, however, that with the vitamin E capsules that they don't feel nice all over my face. I had tried it once and they're very sticky and gloopy and didn't feel great. So I thought, let me have a look in my kitchen cupboards and see what oils I've got. And I had this, which is rice bran oil, and rice bran oil is high in vitamin E. So I thought, well, that would be a great one. So what I did was I got a little plastic bottle. I always have little empty bottles. I've ordered them from eBay. I've got little spray bottles, little pots, things like this. And I put in here some of this rice bran oil, and then I put in about 6 capsules. I just cut the end off and squeeze the oil in there, and then I just shake it, and that is a mixture of rice bran oil and vitamin E capsules. One of the things I used 2 days ago. Then I was looking for something with panthenol in it, and I knew I had 2 products that probably had panthenol in it. The first one is this, Bepanthan, and this is a nappy care cream, nappy ointment. And this nappy cream is the only thing that healed my neck. I didn't use anything else on my neck. I knew that I needed something hardcore, if you like, and I didn't want to put the oil on before this because I wasn't sure that this would penetrate properly through it. I could have put the oil on top, but I didn't feel the need to. This has got some oil in it. Of course, you have to have your hair tied back if you're doing this kind of intense treatment. I slathered this all over my neck and chest twice during the day, and I think I probably used it again at night as well. And so this is the sole reason that my neck looks like it does. I used it on that first day, and then I used it again yesterday, like I said, more intensely. So wonderful. I would definitely recommend giving this a try if you've got real redness and itching. It stopped the itching. My neck was really, really itchy. My face has reacted slightly differently in that I've got dryness and peeling on my face, whereas my neck is not dry, not peeling. It was just very red and angry, as you saw. It was almost sort of raised. The silver lining in that is that I can tell you guys what worked for me with all of these symptoms, so hopefully it will help you. I used a lot of products on my face yesterday. So like I said, I bought these products. I went out on, not yesterday, the day before, in the morning, bought all of these products, started using them that day, and then yesterday I just had a day, like I said, with no makeup. I wasn't going out anywhere, and so I was able to put different things on my skin throughout the day that I thought would help, and they seem to have really, really helped. There was a little bit of redness left on my neck, but not much, so I just continued using that nappy cream. So I cleansed my face, used my micellar water as always, and then I put on lactic acid, which you might be like, there's another crazy move, why would you do that? It did sting my skin because remember my skin is very, very dry and a little bit itchy, not very much, but there's a lot of flaking going on. That's exactly why I use the lactic acid. I find lactic acid to be really, really good for flaky skin, and it does, you know, help with moisture levels in the skin. And there are some studies showing that using an AHA, so that would be, I think glycolic acid is an AHA, using glycolic acid with retinoid makes it more effective. But do you remember in my video talking about combining, what I would say is that is going to potentially increase the irritation to your skin. But anyway, I used the lactic acid and then I waited for about an hour. I appreciate not everybody will be able to use all of these products and have a day to do this. You know, I'm very lucky that I had the time to do this yesterday. But these are still products you can use. You just don't need to leave all the time between them. The next product I used was niacin, because do you remember I said there's the 3 products, vitamin E, niacin and panthenol, that are really good for your skin in terms of the healing and improving the barrier function of your skin. And so I used the niacin and then I waited another hour. The reason that I waited with this is it takes a long time for this to sink in on me and for this to give a real almost matte finish, if you like. And I want that because otherwise it pills. If I put anything on within sort of 10-15 minutes even, I have tried before waiting until it feels like it's absorbed, it does pill up, especially if I use oil on top. So I waited for an hour and then I put on some hyaluronic acid. This is the ordinary hyaluronic acid, 2% plus B5. So this has panthenol in it. Over the top of that, I used this. This is what I bought. I was looking for things that had panthenol in it, and this has panthenol in it. This is the Eucerin Anti Redness Soothing Care. I've never used this before, but I have used a few Eucerin products in the past, and I find them to be really good, but they don't necessarily feel luxurious. But I was thinking of using this on my neck, to be honest, but I thought, well, I'm going to put that nappy cream on my neck and I'm just going to use this on my face. So I put that on my face and I then followed with some of this vitamin E oil concoction that I'd made myself. Then later in the day I used this. This is the Cicaplast Baume B5. I think I told you guys that I had this and I used it on Kev's head where he'd got sunburn. He's got really dry, scaly, leathery skin on his head. But actually this didn't work for that, but the that olive oil, what is it called, the Egyptian Magic, did work for that. And I did consider using the Egyptian Magic on my skin, and I would have reached for that had I not felt I had results from these, but it was specifically because I'd read about that study. I wanted to use things with B5 in, and this has got B5 in it. So I used this. This is really lovely, actually. I've never used this on my face before. Like I said, I bought it for use on Kev's head. Didn't use very much of it, as you can see. I did have a bigger one, actually. There was one, I think it was for the body though, I ran out of, and then got this one. But I actually used this morning under my makeup as well. So I don't know whether that's why I suddenly don't have that, let me feel, I don't have that dry patch of skin at all. I had dry skin around here. I had little flaky bits up here on my eyes, and it's all completely gone, and I definitely think this will have contributed to it. And I wasn't sure how this would sit under foundation this morning. Now I'm not going out, so I don't have any SPF on at all. This would be, I guess, my #1 choice out of all of these products would be to use this Cicaplast Baume mixed with, say, the niacin, and that's you covering the panthenol and the niacin. Maybe use this as a night cream. I think that would be good. It'd certainly be great to use on top of the retinoid immediately afterwards. Don't worry if you're not catching the names of all these products. I am going to list everything for you in the description as always. I can't remember if I mentioned this. This is something that has been a real kind of relief, and I don't know whether I put this on underneath the nappy cream. I may well have done. Like you can see, I used a lot of products, but this is definitely something I would recommend as feeling soothing, but there isn't anything specifically in this that is proven as per that study, so that's what I was trying to achieve. But this did feel lovely, and it is copper. A copper peptide is definitely something that will help with the healing of skin, so it's something else you can consider using. I know for sure that some people will be going, this is so confusing, you're all over the place, but the problem is the research is all over the place and it is confusing, and so I know that my style of saying what my opinion is might not always work for everybody, but the fact of the matter is it's a complicated subject, and there's no conclusions other than we know that retinoid is good for us, we know that it's irritating. It's just then down to you whether you want to do it quickly and get the benefits quickly but suffer in the meantime, or whether you want to try and reduce it. Don't forget when using your retinoids that it takes 2 days, 2 to 3 days sometimes, for the irritation to appear, for the dryness and irritation to appear. So if you've used it one night and the following day you think, oh, I'm fine, I don't have any irritation, I can use it again, then I wouldn't recommend doing that. Wait at least 3 days to see what your skin is going to do, because it takes that long for it to show. I hope this has been useful and or interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you again soon.